let's this is our final session, right? I we covered a lot in terms of the V. We always talk about the V shape, and here we are today, right? We talked about markets and capturing the insights and ideas, MPVs and ideas, functions, technologies, right? Design, verification, validations, and then DBPNR through FME and things like that. And this is where we ended yesterday's session, where the tire meets the road, and this is where the activity ends. Logically speaking, in the conventional product development framework. By the way, whatever we covered in iPro is not conventional in terms of the tools and methods. Whatever tools we studied, like feature adaptation, the trees, Enigma tool, we had price tool, right? The how to capture the customer insights. We have MPV, or that is called as ideation plot for technology theme selections. And then we had this reverse thinking tool we called rethink tool. Cano was another tool. So these tools are quite new. Few of them have the legacy, but they are still useful. So I want all of you to use these tools when you are developing the products, or even a small developments. Even if you are doing, these tools are going to be very useful. FMEA is another tool, right? FMEA is a very powerful tool. The design tree, what we said, is also another tool. So we have tools, right, embedded into IFR, ideal final result, is another tool which triggers. The tools is all about triggering your thought process, triggering your um, uh, the experience itself. It can channelize your experience and energy so that we reach to the meaningful conclusion faster. It is making your job faster. This is not about making your job slower. Okay. So please use those tools, even if it is a small problem to solve. Yeah, we and then again we ended that we may have, if we diligently follow everything. Mm, and if you look at in industry environment, the one good product development takes minimum of 2 years or 3 years time frame, and then that is where it goes through iterative processes, learnings, and things like that. So, but at the end of the day, you may come out with a reasonably good product with a reasonably low risk, uh, which meets most of the MPVs, most of the customer criterias, critical criterias or requirements, and also meets your design criteria in terms of safety, in terms of the size and the weight, and the cost also. So ultimately, and this is where you will land up. Now there is something we started working on that, not on the design, but we are actually taking a step back right now. I just want to give you that perspective, although this is a topic in itself, but really want to give you a perspective because this is going to be useful to you also, and it is also a part of confusion which always is there in a bigger organizations, or whenever you are doing the design for multiple customers or multiple platforms, right? The designers generally are limited, but the products are diverse, and designers are few, and they are supposed to take care of all the requirements and uh, all the different customer segments. Although there could be little bit tweaks here and there in the design, uh, see what happens is, sorry, I missed to switch on my camera. So what happens is, uh, I mean, this is a spectrum, right? What can happen when you are designing? You will have a wonderful design. Once you know the requirement, you will deliver the design. But look at the business, right? Who are the customers today or in the future? This design is going to be served to. So if you are using this single design for all market segment, average customer satisfaction will go down. The business may not like it, and the design department may not get a very good feedback, that because their design doesn't suit. So definitely you will be asked, or designer generally moves in the another spectrum called modular design. So modular design is a plug and play, right? We talked about this example of a modular design example of a cycle or bike, where now companies like this are making it modular. So where the building blocks, you can plug and play the building blocks, okay, or some standard element will be constant, and around it all the customization will happen. So you don't change everything. You keep the DNA same, and the parts also same, but then the peripherals can keep changing to the extent possible. So in this case, you can select 1 speed versus 8 speed. You can select the frame size, you can select the handlebar design, you can select the color, you can select whatever the seat size, and things like that, and then the position of the handle and the distance between that, because they are all modular, you can plug and play. Okay, so this is where the modularity of the design comes, which helps you to address multiple market segments. Because you may have, I mean, this bicycle I can easily convert to from 8 speed to, let's say, 24 speed or 21 speed. I can have to just put the sprockets. It's a plug and play. I can easily convert this into mountain bike if this is initially it is for flat terrain. I can convert it mountain bike by changing the tires. So that kind of modularity is always useful when the businesses are dealing with more than one customers, now or in future. Okay, so you need to really take a call when you are designing, not not just about one segment, but for multiple segments on the horizon. Okay, very important, very important for a designer, and this is called a strategy. Okay, now another strategy, these are all strategies, by the way. Somebody may say, some company may decide, I am going to only produce single design, right? I don't want to do any modularity because it is has its own complexity involved. uh, it has its own this is a simple thing. Single design, it's a very simple thing. Modular design is you have to maintain, right, so much of inventory, then so many interfaces and things like that are not generally very easy. So company may decide to go for single design. That's a strategy. Okay, they may decide for right reasons. Okay, like this is like going back to the Henry Ford's comment, right? So we, right, what he said is, when he started producing the car, so you will get the car of your, you will, what he said, you will get the color of the car of your choice as long as it is black. So he was only selling the black colors. There was no color available, and that is the kind of comment he made, right? So that's kind of, monopoly. Modular design is where complexity is high, but you can choose. Now there is another strategy, which is something we miss out, or something which is hidden, which is called as super optimum design. Now, super optimum design, I'll take. So this is about getting to the full customization of the product. Full customization product, in the sense, ideally developing one product for one customer. I would like to have one product for one each customer segment. Okay, when I say customer, it's a market segment. Always remember that. It's always a market segment, a group of people to whom we serve, right? So super optimum design, let's talk about now super optimum, and that could be also your strategy if you want to play out. If a business is asking you, right, I want to do this, I want to, customize this more for this customer, because these customers are rich, they are going to pay me, that is where the profit happens. Can you do something? And how to do it? Because so far we talked about, yeah, I mean, it is performing the function, everything is okay. What else I should do in this bicycle? Now what exactly you want me to do? So this is where we are addressing how to arrive at the super opt, and this is also called super optimum. We don't call it as a customized design because whatever happens here can may be useful and can have some delighters and even the cost reduction ideas, which is not even asked by the customer. So this is not customization alone. This is beyond that. So this is called a super optimum design. So let's see how it works out. Okay. And I only couple of slides, and this is the last part of it. The rest of the session we will use for some discussion, feedbacks, and the modalities for the next course. Okay, so now talking about super optimum design. So let me explain how it works. It's very simple but very powerful. Powerful tool. Again, this is a tool. Okay, so text start with a very simple product like a pen. Very simple. And when you are designing the pen, you are designing the parts, right, one by one. So one of the part is body or barrel of the pen. This is what the focus is, design element, right? Now let's start with some background. Of course, this is a ball pen, which is the product. Market segment are students, okay, and MPVs, right? Main parameters of value, right? What matters to this market segment is grip, ink uniformity, and refill time. Should refill life? Sorry, refill life. Okay, you can change it here and there, but generally this is what it is. Okay, MPVs. Now design element is focus now for the design is body or barrel of the pen. In this company, maybe there could be designer who is designer for a barrel could be separate, or the same person who would design the barrel first and then the internal part and then the third part. Okay, now let's go back to super optimum question. Very interesting. So objective of a super optimum barrel design. So it has a very simple objective. Design the barrel. Now read it carefully. Design the barrel to achieve all the MPVs of the pen without changing primary function or technology. Add or modify design controls to the barrel. Okay, barrel means the outer body is the design element or focus here. So so if you look at it, what is happening? See, barrel we design to achieve some design criteria, right? Okay, maybe the stress and maybe the diameter, thickness, and things like that. But now what we are doing here, we are stretching the barrel design to meet all the customer requirements. I know or we know that barrel is not supposed to meet all the customer requirement because there is a refill inside, there is a spring inside, there are many things. But that's forget about it or keep it aside for this tool. Your barrel is supposed to, if you're designing barrel, that component is supposed to achieve all the MPVs, everything, single component, okay, without changing the primary function or technology. So it is supposed to achieve all the MPVs. No compromise. When I say all the MPVs, not it doesn't mean that we compromise. MPVs are not compromisable. Okay. So that is now this is for ideation, and these are design ideas. So we are not talking about technology change. We are talking about design changes, design modifications. Okay. So in specific, if you look at this is how the questions will crop up. How barrel can be modified to achieve higher grip? Simple, because grip is your MPV. Now, can you tell me? Just throw the ideas. How the barrel can be modified to achieve higher grip? And modify the barrel, by the way. Okay, so we say add or modify design controls to the barrel, to the body, the white part here. You may be the white part in this image. Increase diameter. Okay, okay. What else? Add rubber grip. Okay, by the way, think of modifying the barrel itself. Okay, first, do not try to add something first. Modify the design itself. Add a groove. See, add a groove. Very good, Nikhil. I mean, very good in the sense. This is a very simple change in the barrel. Simple change in the barrel and probably can give you the grip. add grooves. Yeah, add grooves or add barrel to hold ink. No, 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 no. We are talking about first question. Okay, please answer only first question. How barrel can be modified to achieve higher grip? Yeah, friction similar to fingers friction. Okay, changing the barrel material. Yeah, yeah, yes. Material selection, grooves, zigzag pattern on barrel. Nilesh said it. Mobile stand provision in barrel. Okay, changing the barrel material. Yeah, yeah. So this is what. Now look at this pen. This is also a pen in the market. Doesn't have anything like that, but it doesn't really take a lot. Doesn't really take a lot to add grip on this barrel and make it little better product. Okay, like in Mitsubishi. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, now and do not see when we say add or modify. So we are adding the controls. Please understand, we are not adding the extra external technology or external uh, means necessarily. But if it is a small change, some features, you are free to add it. So it's ideas, right? But first start with barrel. If you can modify the barrel itself, nothing like that. And if you can add a little bit of small features, uh, you can think about that also. Okay, feather touch feeling and things like that. Thank you. Okay. Now look, okay, so I think you got the point. You got the point. Now look at now let me stay and look at what has happened. If you modify the barrel by a small somebody says zigzag pattern. I mean, doesn't you're not really adding anything. In fact, you can remove some material from that barrel, uh, put some zigzag pattern or serrations, and it will provide you the grip, right? Now tell me, I mean, is it the value of this pen has gone up, right? The value of this pen has gone up, and even if the customer segment, some other market segment is not really looking for grip. Students generally may look, but they write it lot. People like me, I hardly use the pen. Okay, I don't write a lot. But still, if I get a pen with a good grip, I would be very, very happy. I would be very, very happy. So this is sort of a delighter. Okay, this is a sort of a delighter. And if somebody is really interested, no, sorry, if somebody is really, uh, if the customer segment is in real need of this grip, which is MPV, right? MPV is something which a customer is ready to pay you. Then you have to do this. And these are just ideas. I'm not saying you have to go and implement, but ideas are welcome, and these are design ideas. Okay. Okay. So answer the next question now. How barrel can be modified to achieve uniform ink thickness? We shall say triangular touch for better hold. Yeah, yes, 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 yes. How barrel can be modified to achieve uniform ink thickness? Can you tell me some ideas? And please do not change the technology of the pen. Okay, technology. Please do not touch technology. Keep uniform diameter throughout the barrel. Okay. Uniform ink thickness. Huh? We are talking about uniform ink. When you write, when you write on the paper, you expect the ink thickness to be uniform. And it is possible. Just stretch your imagination, stretch the design of the barrel. And there is a hint: add or modify design controls. Add or modify design controls. What can you do? Do something to the integrated barrel with nib. Yeah, yeah, integrated barrel, you can do that. Yeah, nibs design, nib of the pen. This is a ball pen, by the way. Nib of the pin should be proper design. Provide springs to maintain writing pressure. Very good. Yeah, provide springs to maintain. Right, right, right. So look at this idea. Provide springs to maintain writing pressure. So you can provide some sort of a pressure, writing pressure. I like that word, writing pressure. So when there is enough pressure on the ink maintained, then the thickness is uniform. If the pressure, if there is a no, if there are some air bubbles trapped inside, or pressure is not maintained, it does not really flow. It does not really flow. So can barrel, see temperature control ink material, very good. So you can use some sort of a temperature control or some small heater inside the barrel. How to do it, whether it is possible or not, don't worry about it. Don't select it and don't implement, don't judge the ideas. Just list down what can you do to this barrel. So one is you can increase the temperature by doing something. Okay. You can even, I'm just thinking, okay, when I'm typing, you not necessarily have an electric heater. Even if you rub the pane, the barrel which is outside, rub it and create a friction heat and have some mechanism to pass on that heat to the ink so that it is smooth and there is a flow of the ink. I mean, you can always take a patent of this idea. Okay, so you can all think of that. Pressure, you can maintain the ink pressure by putting some plunger or piston inside the refill, but through barrel. Barrel is modified to do this. Barrel is doing this, whatever you want, right? How barrel can be modified to achieve higher refill life? Can you tell me now? Material to maintain constant viscosity at variable temperature. Yeah, yeah, yes. Now tell me, answer the third question. How barrel can be modified to achieve higher refill life? All these ideas are fantastic, by the way, whatever you are putting. And these are, you see, material to maintain constant viscosity at variable or more space for it. So whatever you are thinking, please just take a caution that you are not changing the technology. Technology part is done. If you think now technology should change, then your selection of technology in the earlier phase was not correct. Something went wrong. But you can always go back and revisit it if you are early. But not but now at this stage, just change the design. Okay, barrel itself is accumulator to hold the ink. Very good, Hemant. Thank you. I mean, barrel itself is an accumulator. It can probably store some more ink. We are talking about refill life, right? It can probably store more ink. Anyway, you can put some ink. You know the aircraft wings, right? It stores the fuel. It's you can use that kind of solution here also. Small change in the design. Just a minute. Increase diameter of refill. No, increased diameter of refill is a refill design. Please talk about barrel only. We are not talking about refill here. We are talking about how do you modify barrel. Okay, please do not divert, right? We are not talking about general question. How do we improve the refill life? No. Question is how do you modify the barrel? How do you design the barrel to achieve higher refill life? Please, please stick to barrel. To have the ink refills already into, okay, be quick, higher density of ink and high quality ink material. No, Shreya, you're again talking about ink and ink material. We are talking about barrel. Please do not move away from barrel. Look at the design element here, which is highlighted in a color. Barrel of the pen. We are not talking about anything else. Allowing uniform ink all. No. I think you are not. I need the ideas around barrel so that it achieves the higher refill life. Provide anti-spill feature by increasing the barrel quality and adding bushings at the end. Oh, good. Good. This is exactly Patanjali. Thank you for that. Barrel with more and more volume utilization for ink. Yeah, thanks, Hari. This is what I was. Barrel with ink storing capability. Very good. End part of the barrel should accommodate replaceable free fill. Very good. This is what I was looking for. Design the barrel such that if one refill is lost, other can be switched on my click twice. Very good. Excellent, Vishal. Thank you. Right. So you got the point. You got the point. See, this is where the design, you're stretching the design. Now look at what is happening in the background. We are stretching the design of barrel. The baseline barrel is okay. Nobody is saying that your baseline barrel is not right. Your baseline barrel, even customer is ready to pay you. You are able to verify, validate it. No failure modes. Everything is looks perfect. But now this is the time we are stretching it. Need to design based on quality of paper's roughness. Quality of paper, okay. Airflow in the barrel. Airflow in the barrel, I liked it. I mean, I want to hear the word barrel, by the way. Do not give the generic ideas. We are talking about only barrel. I repeat it because this is how the systematic innovation tools happens. They need to be used in a context. Okay, these are all systematic innovation tools, by the way. Making transparent barrel to detect the ink stage. Oh, wow, good. Making transparent a barrel to detect the ink stage so that we can take a proactive actions and things like that. Oh, good, excellent. Barrel should have a mechanism like revolver to load refills. Wow, never thought about it. Wow. Barrel which maintains optimum fluidity of ink so that utilization of ink is optimum. Very good. So you got the point. You got the point, and you got it. So this is the systematic innovation tool. This is called a super optimum design. Okay. Mostly this tool is useful for you know uh, changing. See, look at what is happening. MPVs are at the center here. So if you are so everything is and we are going to ask this question for every component of this pen, keeping MPV same. MPVs for the pen does not change, right? For this market segment does not change. So now if we move from barrel to let's say refill, you are going to do the refill design. Then same question will apply. Instead of barrel, I would ask how refill can be modified to achieve higher grip. Okay, there are ways to do that. You can think about it, and then refill design will change. Then something else will happen, and I will tell you what to do next. Okay. So this is how barrel, and you will now have multiple ideas of barrel design. So so at the end of this session, you will have multiple barrel design ideas. Is that right? Okay. Now, now let's do this example from pen to a bicycle, because we talked about modularity of the bicycle. Now we are not really because just to distinguish, this is not a modular design. This is a super optimum design. Okay. Same exercise, exactly same exercise now for a bicycle chassis. Please understand design element is bicycle chassis. Everything should happen through this chassis. Do not go anywhere else. On MPVs are clear here. Driving efforts should be minimal. Comfortable ride on hillside. Handling controls should be better and weight should be lower. Okay. So objective of super optimum design is very simple. Design the chassis to achieve all the MPVs without changing primary function or technology. Add or modify design controls. Now please use it. Focus on chassis and modify the design of it so that it helps you to achieve minimal driving efforts or comfortable ride on a hillside, right? On the hillside or off road. Provides you handling control or a lower bit. So all of it. So go one by one and please throw your ideas and see what happens to this chassis. Reducing weight in the chassis. Please, yeah, reducing weight in the chassis. But please say that how are we going to do it? What are the design? We have a very unique word here, design control. What design control you are going to add or modify? So you can say modify material to reduce the weight. You can say that. You can say add something to reduce the weight, something like that. Okay, spring. So somebody says spring, but please articulate it. I don't get it. Optimum chassis, ultra lightweight. Use composite materials to achieve weight reduction. Okay. Now weight is very simple. Please move on to driving efforts now. Weight is very simple. Increase the weight of the chassis to improve stability in mountain terrain. Okay, yeah, it is other way around. Increasing the weight of chassis to maintain the stability. Wow. Add suspension in chassis for comfort. Very much possible. So so Rishikesh is saying add suspension. See, we're talking about driving comfortable ride, right? So suspension. So you can think of adding suspension in the chassis itself. Okay. Add suspension to absorb shock. Yes. Adding spring in middle bar for better driving effort. Hmm. Incubating electric motor. Okay. You can do electric motor, but you are changing the technology. Be careful because at this stage of the product may not be allowed. But if it is possible, okay, go ahead and do it. What else? Using foldable chassis for easier movement. Wow. Shiva said using foldable chassis. You can do foldable chassis. Good. Foldable chassis uh, for carrying it. But there is no MPV about portability. But yeah, that is always a delighter. So space for water bottle. Okay. Carbon fiber. Yes. Carbon fiber chassis. Yes. It is all there in the market, by the way. What else comes to your mind? And again, use systematic framework. Please do not jump. Go one by one. Talk about driving efforts. Then talk about comfortable ride. Then talk about handling control. Then talk about weight. Go one by one. What else comes to your mind? You are doing fantastic. I mean, I like those ideas, foldable ones and things like that. This is a delighter. If somebody gives me this bike, which is foldable, uh, then good. Actually, because I can put it in my car, dicky of my car, and I can you know take it anywhere I want. So this is what happens, right? This is what happens when you do the super optimum design. You can stretch it beyond what customer is looking for. Self balancing mechanism for better handling control. Yeah, yes. Streamlined design, aerodynamic design for reducing driving efforts. Very good. Changing the entire thing to like making the people walk in a treadmill and bicycle moves, which is actually now a product. Very good. Very good. So that's a chassis design for reducing the driving effort, right? Making like make it like a treadmill type of mechanism. Changing chassis seat attaching angle to take calm at center for less driving effort. Oh, good, 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 good. Very good. Self balancing, making the chassis frame more aerodynamic, more smooth and curved. Any more smooth and curved. Okay. Anything else? Storing energy in downhill and using whenever required. Yeah, you can do that. But again, that's a technology change probably. But if it is a small change, you can always do that. Okay. Anything else comes to your mind? Anything else which is not an MPV here, but still you want to take a shot at modifying this chassis. For some MPVs which are not listed here, like portability, right? Something you can still modify it to provide customer delighters. Protective chassis designed to prevent injuries. Skin care. Very good, Hemant. Thank you. I mean, yeah, look at that protective chassis design, which is safety concern. And of course, bicycles are very prone. You are not protected. Probably you can, cover a sort of a shield or chassis, modify that chassis, provide a shield around your legs, and so that even if there is some side dash, you are protected. Thanks, Hemant, for that. Very good idea. Add anti-theft mechanism in the chassis. Yeah, you can. Locking, right? Safety, security. Can you use chassis for locking? You need to see today we carry locks and chain locks and things like that. Can you use chassis to lock the bicycle? Just incorporate the locking mechanism in chassis. And people have done it, by the way. Bamboo chassis. Yeah, could be a low weight. Anything else? Anything else which is not MPV, right? Just security, safety, What else is important in bike? You know it better. Okay, adjustable is going according to height. Thank you. So you got the point. Okay. Just give me a minute. Okay, I'll have a glass of water and come back. But you can keep typing your ideas. Don't stop. And again, go beyond the MPVs for delighters. Just give me a minute. Yeah, thank you. To attach wings and start to fly once we got the required momentum. Okay. Again, if it is a change in technology, be careful. Okay, nobody will allow you. But if it is possible, if it is a design change, please do that. Okay. Adding a wing with a motor in a chassis for moving in the water. Very good idea. Fantastic idea. Okay. And see, somebody says Shiva, right? Adding a wing with a motor in a chassis for moving in the water, right? It could be delighter for some people who are living in that area where it's full of water. A lot of floods comes and you are at the mercy of rescue. But I really like that idea. If you can have the bicycle which you can sail through river by modifying the chassis, nothing like that would be delighter. And that's where we are saying it's a super optimum or customized. If you sail somebody in the urban city the bicycle which is moving through water, probably not a delighter. It's a waste of, it's a high cost and nobody will be interested, right? So that's why we first focus on MPVs which really matters to the customer. And for the same segment of customers, if some delighter you can provide, you know, and you can also verify, will my customer really like this as a delighter? Because this is where you can get some more ideas and even verify it with your customers. Now look at these examples on the screen. Inbuilt speaker in chassis. Yeah, all that can be done now. Now you are free to ideate. See, look at these designs. Suspension in the chassis. Somebody said in the beginning. So this is the first cycle is all about that. If you are able to see that, this is actually a bicycle where suspension is integrated on the chassis, and it is more comfortable. Okay, add battery and motor e-bike. Okay, hey, we are not changing the technology, guys. Okay, please understand, we are not changing technology. E-bike is a new technology bicycle. Now when you are coming back to the design, we are only talking about design modification. But if it is allowed at this stage, it's a very small change, go ahead and do it. Nobody will stop you if it is helping your customers. Okay, now look at the, now Nikhil says, how about the price of the product associated with these features? Now price, so it's a customization, right? So customization means customer is ready to pay you for the modifications you are doing, because these are the customers who give you the most of the money, and that is the bike they look for, that is the product they look for, and that's why they're ready to pay. So that's why price is not a problem when you are doing the customizing. That is, we are doing it for because you are going to get paid. And by the way, I will also tell you, it can also reduce the cost. For example, go back here. Somebody says your ideas only. Integrate suspension in the chassis itself. Now, when you integrate the suspension in the chassis, probably you don't need a separate suspension system. You can use this chassis itself for suspension and reduce the material of this chassis, because now you are introducing suspension as a part of it. So probably it may reduce the cost. It may reduce the cost. Okay, I don't know, but it may reduce the cost. So this kind of things can also come up. So this is not a cost, cost reduction exercise or cost increase exercise, but you can always end up in reducing the cost. Okay, look at these examples for different market segments, how a chassis is modified. It's all chassis modification. See, look at this design. Somebody says I will use the barrel for aerodynamics. So this is a very aerodynamic design. There is also a space for keeping something for that kind of market segment. Okay, and all that is possible today. All that is possible. And all these bikes are there in the market. Um, if not some place in India and mostly outside. And you can also, no surprise if we also start seeing these bikes tomorrow around us, because they are all customized. Not everybody, this is not for everybody. Few customer segments, few market segments, few niche segments do it. But the power of the super optimum design is, even for your design, just see and stretch it. This is about stretching the design to see if you can do something more better, uh, and delight your market segment, right? That's another objective. Now what happens now at this stage, we will do the you will stretch, right? I'm using the word stretch the design for all the components, not just for chassis. So you will say, you will do the chassis, then you will go to tires, then you will go to suspension, you will go to transmission, and every time you are going to ask the same questions, and then you will get different set of ideas on the table, right? So you will have these ideas for chassis, look at our own ideas, set of ideas on chassis, set of ideas on the wheel, set of ideas on the brake, set of ideas on your transmission design, set of ideas. So what we do now, we create something called design configuration. So this step is called as design synthesis and configuration. Now what do we do at this stage is, we pick up chassis design 1, suspension design 1, transmission design 3, tire design 2. That combination is called as design configuration 1. And they, likewise, you can have many combinations. Now all combinations do not work, because everything is not compatible. Okay, everything is not compatible. So only certain combinations will work. So you need to now pick up, mix and match and create the design configuration 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Because you have set of now ideas for all the components, all the design components, design elements, suspension, transmission, all the parts basically. And each of these I per call is as animal. Everything is, it's a different animal from each different variants. They have their own beauties. They have their own pros and cons. Look at this design. These are design configurations. When you do this, you may come out with the design configurations like this for a particular market segment. Okay. So design configurations, once you have, these are your design concepts, right? Your design concepts, and then you go back to your, okay, by the way, the technology for components remains same across design config. Please note this down clearly. We are not changing. See, look at these designs. There is no change in the technology. It is still the manual efforts converted into manual energy, human energy is getting converted into the kinetic energy. No, there is no electric, there is no hybrid, there is nothing of that sort. Technology is not changing across any of this. Okay, if you are bringing electric bike, it's a technology change. That can even, that is a separate. It's a separate animal completely. It's a different breed altogether. It's an alien for this generation. So for this configuration, technology is remains same across design configurations. Design configurations are changing. Few people also call it as design architecture. How about giving the customer a feature change the configurations as per their requirement? Will that be an MPV? I'm not getting the question, but if it is a customer requirement, it is certainly an MPV. Okay. If it is a customer requirement, it is an MPV. And sometimes customer does not represent. We talked about Cano model, then it's a delighter. But that delighter means something customer needs, but he or she could not express it. Okay. So somebody also call this as design architecture. There are confusing words in the literature, but don't get confused. When we talk about design configuration in other language, it is called as design architectures also. Technology does not change. Please understand. And this is a Pew selection matrix. You will find this. There is a website. All these tools of uh, all these tools are available there. These are quality tools and legacy tools available everywhere in public domain. Okay, so this is a old age tool. Nothing new about this tool. But this is a simple thing. So you have MPVs on your leftmost column, right? Driving effort, handling weight, and things like that. And you have a baseline design, right? You have some baseline. After doing all this work, you have baseline design, and then you use this tool of to super optimum design tool to create configuration 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then you rank it. So you start with S means same, plus means it is better for driving effort, minus means it is not, it is inferior than your baseline, and S means it is same as baseline, simple. And then you can provide a rank, right? You can provide a rank. Depending on the pluses and minuses, you can provide a rank. So design configuration 2 becomes the number one configuration for this market segment. Please understand, even the market segment changes. If somebody is not interested in traction on off-road, uh, then probably they may not like this product or this design. Okay, so market segment change, this changes. Okay, so this is the super optimum design. So this is the message. Design synthesis generates possibility for delighters, customization, cost reduction also. It generates the possibility. I'm not saying it guarantees. It guarantees you, but it generates possibilities for delighters, customization, and cost reduction, and hence the profitability. Because this is a strategy discussion again. Okay, guys, this is not generally happens at a designer may not decide it. It's a business strategy that this is the customer. I would like to tune my product for this customer. And there are other customers for which even I don't get the volumes. I am not interested in selling them as much. Even they are not ready to pay. They are tough customers. I don't want to really think about them today. But if they want to buy my products, they are okay. But this is the customer I cannot lose. Please do something. Then this is what comes into picture. And this is not something hypothetical. This is exactly the business happens. Business, if you look at the revenues of any business, there are only 20% customer who brings us 80% of the profit, right? That is every business you look at. It's Pareto principle applicable to businesses also. 20% customers give you 80% profit, and that is where this kind of designs helps you. And it can even create delighters for other customers also. You can pass on some features to other customers as well. Okay, so this is the message I wanted to provide. So this is where the this is not there when we did the last iPro batch. So you are, or I'm happy that we could cover it this time, because I went through this topic very recently and just thought of bringing for you fresh out of oven. So this is where the whole philosophy looks like. Markets and insights and MPVs and ideas, functions is at the base of this whole thing. Technology, design, validation, and then ultimately you have the product for the customers. And the bug doesn't stop here. Sometimes we get into iterations because of the time pressure. we take some risk, we assume a few things, we launch the product, then we learn, and again come back, and we do some zigzag also here. Then again you go back, sometimes you change the design, and then sometimes you also change the technology. If your product is not really picking up, you need to change your technology. Sometimes it happens, but that is not the ideal way. If you, after launching the product, if you are coming back and changing some fundamentals, then the whole process is of no use. That's why this process is important. And that can happen when somebody jumps directly to product. Based on assumptions. We have seen that, right? Psychological inertia. We have a lot of inertias, and that's why the tools are required. The process is required to sail through without any bias, and systematically. Okay, so I would like to congratulate you, because this is where the whole if you have you have we have covered together the journey of idea to technology to design and then the product. This is the best I could bring for your benefits. And I'm not saying this is the Bible and this is the only thing. Many things are evolving around. There are many theories which are coming across, and we all have to learn and teach each other. Share those learnings with each other as a community. Because this is not the only. This is just maybe a starting point, I would say. Okay, so this is the crux of what we started with and what we ended with. We talked about all of it in this course. I also urge all of you to pick up an area of focus and apply these tools to develop the novel products. You may also come up with some patentable ideas on the go. Okay, and I would be very happy to help you for your own projects if it is an academic project, especially if you are a student. I'll be happy. Industry, I may not be able to do a lot, but yeah, but I would like you to. Now, I just want to do a small, quick check with you. How many of you are really working on developing a small or big product, or even process for that matter? You're trying to develop something new or modify something new as a project or as an initiative, either in your office or in your home, or you are doing it for a social cause, something like that. Can you just note it down? Can you just list it down? Can you just list down what are you working on, please? If it is confidential, just give us an abstract idea, right? Abstract ideas is also good. Mitesh says, can you list down what are you actually working on? You're developing something, and aircrafts, aircrafts. Wow. What else? Startup ideas. Wow. BMS, battery management system. Okay. Heat exchangers, front wheel drive. Wow. E-mobility. Rahul. What else? Even if there are students, they can talk about their projects also. If they're working on even a mini project is all fine. Everything. I am in the field of drones. Wow. Anybody else? Clock clutch in transmission. Okay, Lushan. Lake system design, fuel system design, alternate fuel system design. Okay. Academic project on 3D printing. Wow. Suspension system and tuning. MPV for underground fuel reservoir cap. Okay. What else? And even if you are not personally working, if your team is working, please also mention that, because ultimately you are part of the project. tire design and optimization, car parts. All right. So thank you. If somebody wants to type it, please type it. But we have diverse, set of people. I'm very happy. Uh, and we don't stop here, ladies and gentlemen. So we can keep, as a community, you can keep sharing your knowledge and learning. Ultimately, we have to grow together, right? I just learned something and I shared, and I also expect you to learn something from your experience and share it with the same group. We have the help from government themselves available. So this is ARI, Technovus, and Government of India is all there to bring us together as a platform on this platform. So we need to connect. We need to connect uh, uh, on this platform if it can help you. And I definitely see that it def- we will get immense help. So this is again, I urge all of you. I shared it last time also. There is a link. Abhishek, if you are there, or Gandharva, please type this link again for the benefits of all if you can. There is a Technovus link. You need to just register there. That's again a free of cost using your own email ID and things like that. Then there is a forum where we can start something like a iPro forum where we keep connecting, we keep learning from each other, right? We again answer each other's questions. A lot of questions maybe I could not have answered for the time and some uh, uh, time limits here, essentially. But we can get connected on this forum, please. So there, Abhishek has already typed in. Please use that and get and remain connected. That's my request. We otherwise will forget all of this very soon, very fast. We are back to square one. Doesn't take really time. Okay. Now I also, before I go to the other part, I want to say a big thank you to Technovus team, especially Abhishek, Gandharva, Ruturaj, Ashwin, and their management, right? Who have taken a lot of efforts to bring all of us together. It is because of otherwise without them it's highly impossible. There is no platform, and I really appreciate Abhishek, Gandharva, your dedication and the kind of focus you have brought into this in driving this. I mean, they were the first people who approached industry experts. They started doing these initiatives. They said this is important for the industry. They convinced me. Their management convinced me and people like me that this is important. You need to spend time for the fraternity and for the automotive. You can just sit and learn alone. You need to share it. So that is the kind of discussion and that motivated me. So thanks to them, they are the foundation and for all this exercise.